some more love and appreciation to our Expressions of Unity choir this morning. Let them hear it this morning. Redalia Kilson conducting this morning. Chakra's in the house. The boys are in the house today. That's Jeff. That's Rob. That's Osh. All under direction of Chet Swallow this morning. Come on, stand just a moment with me. Let's just charge ourselves this morning. Let's just get into it a little bit. Firm with me. I'm in the right place. Come on, you got to do better than that. Come on, Unity. Come on, I know you're out of practice. I know it's been a while, but come on, wake up a little bit. Say with me, I'm in the right place. Come on, at the right time, with the right people to receive my good. Come on, I'm in the right place, at the right time, with the right people to receive my good. High five somebody nearby and say, expect a miracle. Go ahead and tell them, expect a miracle this morning. Give thanks, give thanks, give thanks. You may be seated. I can see that we're going to have a few more services to get you back in the groove. It's been a while, yes, but I'm so grateful that you're all with us this morning. If it's been a while that we've seen you, that means we haven't seen you even when we were open. Will you stand and let us love you? First-time guests or friends who we haven't seen in a long time, welcome to Unity of Sacramento. We're so grateful. Bless you today. Bless you. Thank you so much. We're so happy to have you with us, and we are just knowing for you that this is a day of blessing for you. Good things are happening for you, and you're in a place that love built. And so if for any reason you came in here needing the touch of love, needing to have your soul restored or re-energized, maybe you've been feeling alone, isolated, locked up all by yourself. Who knows what I'm talking about? I want you to know you are among friends today. Is that all right? It's good to be among friends, yes. I just want to take a moment to thank our team that has worked through a pandemic to keep this ministry standing up tall. I'm talking about our staff, our AV team, our board of trustees, our music ministry. Give them some love and appreciation. They navigated the waters of uncertainty with tremendous faith. And for that, I thank you so much. And I want you to appreciate the blessing that it is to be able to gather together like this, yes? You know, if you didn't take it for granted before, have you realized we don't want to take this opportunity for granted ever again, yes? Thank God, thank God. So we ask for your patience as we get back into the groove of being in person, and you know, we've been out of practice a little while here, so we've got to ramp back up and do our best. Give some love and appreciation to our live stream and television audience. Thank you so much this morning for being with us. We love you too, and you've been faithful and supportive all these years. Literally 2 years and some change, right? Y'all all right? Let me get a good look at you. Let me get a good look at you. Look at my people. Look at them. Don't they look good? I mean, you just looking good. Is that Darren over there? Look at God. I mean, even got Darren in the house this morning. My Lord. I mean, I am so happy to see you. All right, let's get some lesson in today. We have been in a series called Meet the Wayshower. Meet the Wayshower. Life lessons from the master teacher. And for us, we have used this as our Lenten lesson series. And for those of you who are not familiar, Lenten is a season of mind fasting and soul feasting that covers the 40-day period commemorating Jesus' experience in the wilderness, beginning with Ash Wednesday and culminating on Easter Sunday. And it's a time, however you choose to work with it, it's a time for us to be a little more intentional. Everybody say intentional. A little more intentional about the state of our souls. About the state of our souls. And so we lay this period aside so that we can contemplate and consider and focus intentionally on the state of our souls. If you had to give the state of the soul report, if you had to stand up and give the state of your soul report, what would you have to say? I don't hear nobody. We have come to understand with this series that Jesus comes to teach us how to form an intimate relationship with God so that we may find our own answers in the heart and to use our lives as a light in the world. We are introducing Jesus as a way shower because there have been so many presentations of Jesus to people that often disempowers people. And we're saying in Unity that we look at Jesus not as the great exception, but the great example. What did I say? Not the great, but the great example. And we feel this is important to teach because you and I have some things that we must address in the state of our souls in order to be free. And if we are buying into this mindset that we're waiting millennia for somebody to come back and save us, hello, we might be forever on this journey stuck in a state of our soul that we don't want to be in. Hello. Anybody out there this morning? And so there are different ways to understand the master teacher. And we teach here that we are not here as merely worshipers. That's not our objective here, is to get you to worship him, the historical person, Jesus. We are here to invite you to follow him. We are here to invite you to become a student. What did I say? What did I say? Now, we said that a way shower is one who has come to show us the way. To show us the way, to show us how to live a healthy, happy, and prosperous life. Does anybody in here want to live a healthy, happy, and prosperous life? I can't hear. Does anybody in here want to live a healthy, happy, and prosperous life? And so, what if you can learn how to do that? And so this presentation of Jesus as a way shower is one who has come to show us how to live what? A healthy, happy, and a healthy, happy, and a life with no good thing left out. Is it all right with you if you had a life with no good thing left out? Boy, it's been a while. And it's all right for you to talk to me today. This is a dance of energy between each other. This is an energetic dialogue here. A life with no good thing left out. And the master teacher, the way shower, comes to show us, as he declared in his, what we like to call his mission statement, when he said, I have come that they might have life and have this life more in poverty. Are you sure? Some of you read. I am come that they might have life and have it more abundantly. Abundantly. Good health, happiness, love, success, prosperity, joy, and no good thing left out. And so then, if you have come to show us how to have such a life, then it presupposes something about me. If you are a way shower and you're here to show me the way, then you must have an understanding about me that I may not have about myself. You understand about me that I've got something within me that will enable me to create such a life. Now, when you come into a unity community, we're going to mess with your God. Did you hear what I said? We start pulling God out of the sky. This idea of transcendent God, everybody say transcendent God. This idea of transcendent God, meaning God externalized, God outside of us, God above us, limits God. Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said? God is in the sky, and whatever you call God, you can shout out your favorite name for God. Just go ahead and shout it out. Doesn't matter what you call it. What do you call God? Just shout it out. Yeah, say them. Say all of them. Yes. However you refer to this infinite power, this dynamic life, this omnipresent, omniscient source and force of all creation, the idea that God is only transcendent limits the power and the possibility that God can have in our lives. And so the master teacher, Jesus, comes along showing us, no, not only is God transcendent, God is immanent. What did I say? God is immanent. Say it again. God is immanent. This means that God is within you and me. Point to yourself and say, God is in me. God is in me. Now, if you did something wrong this week, say this one with me. God is still in me. If you messed up, say it with me. God is still in me. There's this idea of indwelling God, indwelling good, indwelling power, is what the master teacher has come, is what the way shower has come into our experience in order to show us how to use. What if you're filled with power and don't know how to use it? You're walking around filled with power, but you don't know how to use it, and so you misuse the power for things that you don't want rather than transmuting and using the power to produce the things that you do want. Are you with me? True power, when it's rightly understood, is within you to be used to produce the life that you have been, ready, assigned to live. We talked about it last week. We said that the master teacher encountered some fishermen. These would be also known later as his disciples. He's walking by and he sees them out there fishing. Maybe they were fishing for salmon or Chilean sea bass. Yeah. Hope they had some Chilean sea bass. If y'all wondering what I like if you take me out, I just soon like to see some Chilean sea bass come on. All right, you got my favorite. Once I said down in Florida, in Florida there's a more Caribbean feel and flavor in terms of what meals there are. And I was at a Jamaican church. And I said, now the Rev loves some oxtails. Now, this was in my oxtail eating days. I'm in my Chilean sea bass eating days. So I said, I love oxtails. And every time I came to that church, it seemed like they weren't prepared for church. They were prepared for oxtails. Church was wafting with oxtail. I'm not saying this, y'all, so that every time I see you, we have Chilean sea bass. But feel free. So the master, Wayshower, is passing by, and he encounters these individuals who are fishing, and he says, leave your nets and follow me. And it says immediately they dropped their nets, even the ones they were mending, and they began to follow him. And he identified them as candidates to be students who could learn how to use this power that they were filled with. Sometimes you need somebody to come along and see the power within you that you can't see within yourself and say, you come on over here. Let me show you what you got to work with here. I'm going to show you what you're working with here. Anybody have anybody in your life like that? A teacher, a coach that sees your potential and helps you to seize your potential. The Wayshower sees your potential so that you can what? Seize your potential. The Wayshower is always more interested in promoting the teaching and not the teacher. Did you hear what I said? This changes a little bit now. Our understanding. More interested in promoting the teaching versus the what? Teacher. And we've been taught that it's all about promoting the, teacher, worshiping the teacher. And that's why the world is in the condition that it is. We've been so busy worshiping the teacher, we haven't been applying the teaching. Are you hearing me today? All the religion that is in this world hasn't prevented us from going to war. All the religion that's in this world hasn't stopped us from burning up the environment. Talk to me this morning. Because we're not showing people the power that they have. We are telling them, look at the power I have. I love the Pope. I love this particular Pope. But he's no more powerful than the millions that follow him all over the earth. And what if he empowered the people that followed him? Let them know that they've got God power working within them. Come on, point to yourself and say, I've got God power working in me. I've got God power working in me. What if you got that realization? Now, Rev Kev, you don't know my story. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know my condition. Well, if you knew my health condition, if you knew my financial condition, you wouldn't be so quick to talk about this thing, talk about how powerful I am. Well, that's an old story, beloveds. That's an old story. Let's show you how old it is. Would you like to know how old that one is? Because that's the first thing we like to do. We like to resist this understanding of our power and present a story about how powerless we are, because that's the messaging that we keep getting from the world mind. In fact, you can't turn on a commercial, a television, without getting a commercial that's telling you about how sick you are and what the cure is. How broke you are and what the solution is. How lonely you are and what. I heard that there's a dating app for women only. What is it called? I heard one yesterday. Now, don't you act like you haven't been using it. Is it Rumble, Bumble, Fumble? Whatever it is, but the point is, the world mind is always offering us a solution to our seeming problems rather than to give us the power to solve it ourselves. Yes? So let's look at how old this story is. John 5. It says, after this, there was a festival of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. And now in Jerusalem, by the sheep gate, there is a pool called, in Hebrew, Bethzatha, which has 5 porticos. In these lay many invalids, blind persons, lame and paralyzed. One man was there who had been there ill for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there, he knew that he had been there a long time, and he said to him, I love Jesus. This is my God. You ready for this? Yes. You would think this is stating the obvious, but he said to him, do you want to be made well? Woo! Can I hang out on that one for a while? Yes. Do you want to be made well? Do you want to prosper? Do you want to be happy? Do you want to be joyful? Do you want some companionship? Do you want peace of mind? He said, do you want to be made well? And the sick man answered him, Sir, I have no one to put me in the pool. I didn't ask you. Did you? Sir, I have no one to put me in the pool when the water is stirred up, and while I'm making my way, someone else steps down ahead of me. Now, I believe they cut out some parts. I think I heard in my theological imagination, Jesus say, I didn't ask you that. Coming here asking me all about this, telling me about the pool and the this and the that. And who knows what I'm talking about? Here comes your opportunity. Here comes your blessing. Here comes your fast break. Here comes the chance of a lifetime. And here you come arguing for your limitations. How often do we find ourselves arguing for our limitations? Well, I was born on the wrong side of the tracks. And because I was born on the wrong side of the tracks, I know that I've got to struggle to get to where, who says this is the case? I want you to interrogate yourself with this question. Really, really get down in it, because the way shower is teaching again. Do I want to be happy? Because some of us are entertained. Some of us are entertained by drama. And I'm not talking about the drama on Netflix. I'm not talking about the drama found in that show, Shameless, on Netflix. Who's been watching Shameless all seasons? You haven't seen Shameless? Rev Kev, you didn't watch Shameless. I had to accompany my wife. Can't leave her all by herself watching Shameless. But some of us are entertained by the drama. Some of us actually are excited. One of the things about supporting people who have been abused and helping to support them with coming out of conditions of abuse is this very little known fact that there is a kind of an excitement that's occurring inside of the abusive condition. I'm getting attention. The attention is not good attention. The attention is not the kind of attention you deserve. Are you hearing me today? Do you really want to be happy? Do you really want to have peace of mind? Or is it Do you receive the approval of others because you have something to talk about that is not positive? Some of us can't get in if we can't keep up with the negative talk. Who knows about crowds that the minute we all get together, we find something to point out that's awful. I call it the ain't it awful society. Huh? Did you hear about what happened, girl? And you know what? No, that you ain't heard nothing. Here it is, right? This is the real thing. And by the time you finish, you have outbid each other in the worst possible scenarios in life, and you all went out to have a good time. And spent all your time talking about things that will not uplift you, that do not support your happiness. But you ready for this? You had some company doing so. I don't want company that can only talk about misery. I really want to be happy. I really want to be joyful. I really want to be free. I really want to have peace of mind. If I'm not well, I don't want anybody reminding me, remember the time I was sick too? No, I don't want to talk about that. Oh, you got a cold. Well, I got the flu. You got the flu. Well, I got COVID. You know what I'm talking about? Don't one-up me in the wrong things. Do you really want to be happy, he says. The sick man offers all of these excuses for why he couldn't get in the pool. And here's the thing. The pool represents an external solution for solving an internal challenge. Jesus is there to teach and to show him the pool has nothing to do with your healing. The external solution has nothing to do with your well-being. At some point, you and I have to make up our minds. Go say, I make up my mind. Come on, I'm making up my mind. Once and for all. Come on, I make up my mind. Once and for all. To be happy. To be joyous. To be free. To be healed. To be whole. To be abundant. To be prosperous. To have some money, for crying out loud. Just because folks are throwing a recession, you don't have to run to the front of the parade talking about how broke you are. Jesus is there to help him understand that's not the point. I ask you, do you want to be made well? And then Jesus said to him, stand up. Take up your mat and walk. This is the mystical secret. This is the mystical principle. For all transformation, for all recovery, for all change in our minds, in our hearts, in our lives, I must take a seemingly impossible action. For him who had been there 38 years, to tell him to stand up is the seemingly what? Impossible action. But like every teacher, every master teacher, every way shower does, I'm going to show you that you can, even when you think you can't. You've been laying down here 38 years fooling yourself. Well, nobody in my family's ever gone to college before, so what does that have to do with the price of tea in China? Well, everybody in my family, this illness runs in the family. Well, it's going to run around me. Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said? I have to withdraw my candidacy for all the negativity that's happening in the world mind. I have chosen to renew my mind. I'm not a candidate for that. Say it with me, I'm not a candidate for that. I'm not a candidate for that. Ask yourself, what are you running for? What office are you running for? Stand up, take up your mat and walk. Ready for the following statement? It says, at once. Everybody say it again. At once the man was made well, and he took up his mat and began to walk. At once. Why? Because he practiced this principle, and here it is, this recognition of this simple principle, but it's going to change somebody's life. God can only do for you what God can do through you. Say it in the first person with me for emphasis. God can only do for me what God can do through me. Again, God can only do for me what God can do. One more time, God only do for me what God can do through me. Immanent God, indwelling God is that power that is within you, waiting for you to tap into it. Just touch it a little bit. Just strike it a little bit. Just tap into it a little bit so that you can witness something happen in you that you've never seen happen before in your life. I love entrepreneurs. I watch I've lately been watching TikTok videos. Rev Kev, you telling it all? I had to have something to do in the pandemic. But I love witnessing in these little TikTok videos these entrepreneurs who've never had anything. So I tried this little business principle. I tried this little one thing, this one little idea. I tried it, and suddenly, everybody say suddenly, I am making more money than I've ever made before in my life. Nobody in my family has made this kind of money. You know what I'm talking about? Why? Because the individual was made well. It says in this passage, and at once he was made well, and then he picked up his mat and began to walk. The making well is the making over of your consciousness. The making well is the making over of your mind. The making well is the healing of your erroneous thought that you have about yourself, the erroneous thought that you have about life, the erroneous thought that we have about the world. Come on, say with me, nothing and no one is against me. Come on, nothing and no one is against me. You got to heal that thought that the world is against me and I got to struggle to make it through the world. No, nothing and no one is against me. And if God be for me, who can be against me? Are you with me? I want some of you to leave here today and start that business that you've been procrastinating on. Got a garage full of Mary Kay and Tupperware and things that you started, but you didn't stay with it because you didn't believe that you could. And you laid your mat down for 38 years. The thing is laid down for 38 years. You haven't gone back to it for 38 years, and nothing has been wrong with you. This is what Jesus proved. There was nothing wrong with him. The man stood up. Imagine the people looking around here at this man. How is this fool standing up? You know the ones who pass the same way every day. They've been by 100 times and seen this man for 38 years, mailing him Christmas cards and all that. Huh? Say, I tap in the power. Come on, I tap in the power. And I allow God to do something in me that is unprecedented. I want some unprecedented success in my life, unprecedented love in my life, unprecedented joy in my life. You heard what I'm doing. You know, all that's going on now in the world mind, in the world out here with unfortunate incidences such as war and crime and poverty, the continuation. I've decided that I'm joy-cotting. Did you hear what I said? I'm joy-cotting. I've decided that I am joy-cotting. I refuse to get sucked in so that I can then be paralyzed. Because this is what happens when you get sucked in to negativity, when you get sucked into the erroneous idea about your potential, you become frozen and paralyzed and can't get up out of the bed to do anything about your condition. Who's ever been depressed? Anybody ever be depressed? By the time 10, 11 commercials come on, well, I'll just lay on down here and forget about life. Ever been there? I'm joy-cotting. I am choosing to stay in a frequency of joy no matter what's going on out there. So that when and if there is a need for light to be present in the world, I am carrying the torch. Are you with me? So my question today is, do you want to be made well? Do you want your life to take on a whole new meaning, even now? Rev Kev, my time has come and gone. I'm looking at you. You're still here. And perhaps it's your time now to get away from the idea that you're marking time. But maybe it's time for you to come to the place of a yes to your assignment. I'm ready to step into my real self. I'm ready to step into my true and authentic purpose. I'm ready to be taught something that I've never known before. And I'm saying, if you meet the way shower, the way shower will show you how to stand up. How to stand up and dust yourself off. You know, Les Brown said, when life knocks you down, try and land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. If you don't stay down there, you find a way to look up. Oh, my faith looks up to thee. I'm inviting you this morning to look up past the condition and into the eyes and heart of indwelling God. And that indwelling God is saying to you, have I got a life for you? Have I got a life for you? And if you're willing to stand up, if you're willing to let something happen that's never happened before, God will take you places that you've never been before. I've got my bags packed this morning, and I hope you do too, because we're going places. And so it is written, and so I've spoken it, and so you have heard it, and so it is. Amen.